everybody, it's Maggie from Personal Euphoria with today's plank story. If you don't want to plank today, you're going to take a wide stance. You're going to do a side bend. Then soften the knees, round the spine and twist. So think cat stretch, twist, soft knees. Come back to a side bend, come on up. And you'll do that to the other side. Side bend, let your hip kick out. Soften the knees, round and twist. Side bend, come on up. If you don't like all of that, do a simple side bend, side to side. All right. So I hope you only think I'm mildly crazy after this story, but I have had, I would say, I would call it minor OCD since I was a child with little things. And it's funny because if you always have, that's how your brain always works, you don't think it's odd. So for example, I have to check a lot of things 3 times. So when I set my alarm at night, I make sure it's set 3 times. I'll often make sure the stove is turned off 3 times. Anything that feels important to me. And again, I just do it now at this point. I could override it, but it feels so much better to do it. And it's only 3. If it were 20, I might have to work on it. I learned when I started dating Matt that it was atypical. If I'm in a car, I often catch myself counting the telephone poles, or if there's a repeated sign on a corner, I count them. And one time I was inevitably it always gets and I catch myself I don't want to be doing this, and I have to break that. So one time I said out loud I'm sick of counting these telephone poles. And Matt was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I count the poles. And he's like, that's not normal. But again, you might think that's crazy. It's such an ingrained part of my life. Half the time, I don't even think I notice I'm doing it. You'd think I'd be a better counter in my classes, but no. But the reason that made me think of this story this weekend is because I had a moment of OCD bliss. And you can tell me if you relate to this or not. So any product I have in my house, I really hate the idea of needing it and running out. Even though I'd get by fine, right? If I ran out of sunscreen or hand soap or clothes detergent, I always like to make sure I have the next one ready so I'm never out. But I also find it irritating that I have excess I don't need, right? So there's always that bottle that's not in use is more than is necessary. So this weekend, on 3 products, I hit a sweet spot I realize makes me unbelievably happy. My sunscreen, my dishwashing detergent, and my toothpaste all ran out, and I got to throw them away and put out the new fresh bottle. So there is a moment where I have only what I need. And it gives me such great happiness. And since I haven't gotten more of any of them, I'm still running on that high. So I don't know. Are you equally crazy? Crazy in the same way? Crazy in a different way? How does your mind work? And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day and keep moving.